What are the lessons you learned too late in life? That the most valuable commodity in this world is time. Time to play with your kids, time to take that trip you always wanted, time to spend with the people you love. It's the only resource we can't get more of, yet we pee it away with excuses and never do anything to change it. Write that book. Go back to school. Tell that girl you love her, because if you don't, all you'll have is regrets. Dental hygiene should have always been a priority. Only really had a few bad years at end of teens, early 20s where I'd go to sleep without brushing teeth every day or go for regular checkups. The cavities are permanent. The crowns I have still feel weird to me 10 years later. To be straight up, I think I am also just unlucky with genetics, because I know people who don't care for their teeth almost ever and have no problems. But you really don't want to find out which person you are by not staying on top of things. Can confirm. Mom takes really good care of her teeth, but for some reason they just hate her, lol. Fortunately it's only been cracks and cavities. Nothing serious like them rotting out. Don't bring things home from work. I had a bad day at work. Came home and got in an argument with my GF about something and stopped halfway. Yes, she really had done something, but the only reason I got so angry about it was because I had already been angry from work. Otherwise I might have just let it go. From then on I learned to separate work from home. I was 28. I felt like this was a lesson I should have learned earlier. This will go against a lot of career guides, but I strongly prefer a job where at the end of the day I turn off the lights, lock the door, and I get to go home without worrying about work until the next day. Never ever take a job where you're always on call and having to check email on your own time or have to answer the phone ready to serve a customer on your own time. If you made mistakes, always confront them and the consequences right away. Waiting doesn't make it better, it makes it worse. The worst thing is this is only mostly true. Just occasionally you get away with it. This can then create the belief that you will always get away with it, and things can go really wrong from there. People aren't thinking about you even a fraction of the amount you think they're thinking about you. Your noise in a lifetime of experiences and a busy mind. This is a good thing. It means you can just get what you need from people and not overthink it, safe in the knowledge that they'll forget you almost immediately. This is an important perspective when dealing with social anxiety. We judge ourselves harshly and imagine everyone else does the same. Be patient and wait. It's better to be alone than with someone that doesn't respect you. No matter how much or good you are to someone, some of them will screw you over. Always look after yourself first. Start early with physical hobby and keep fit. You have one body and there is no replay. If you love someone but they don't love you, move on. It will hurt like heck, but in the long run, you'll be happier. Giving money doesn't equate to affection. The gratitude will be short-lived and you'll only be an ATM to them in the near future. You have learned a lot the hard way, I suppose. Respect to you. Not everyone and every situation is worth your time or energy. As someone that's a bit of a fixer, I often end up wasting my time trying to help people that didn't deserve it or solve problems that nobody really cares about. It's hard to know when to just walk away. The other thing is protect your time. It's more valuable than your money. You can always go make more money, you cannot go make more time. Time once lost cannot be regained. Time is the only thing that can't be replaced. I should have had enough basic self-esteem to realize that if I can attract somebody I think is the most wonderful girl in the world, then I can probably manage to attract another one, rather than stay in a relationship that I knew wasn't making me happy, but at the same time, I didn't think I could ever be any happier. Holy frick, you really said something there. Thank you. I think, oddly, the lesson I learned is that there is no such thing as too late in life. At 26, I was homeless, out of rehab, and broke. Things have changed dramatically for the better. Nobody is watching you, and nobody cares. People are far too wrapped up in their own lives. Live yours fully without fear. Radical candor honesty is always the best policy. You are always responsible for your own emotional health. That last one doesn't get talked about enough. Especially in relationships, you need to be happy on your own. You should never rely on someone else for happiness or emotional stability. Once you achieve that, then you can go into a relationship and be happy with someone else. That there is hope for you to fix your mental health problems. I left things for 10 years not knowing there was decent help to be had. Although to be fair, things have progressed a lot since then. Just because you're blood related to someone doesn't mean that you owe them anything. Toxic people are toxic people and you are not required to give them a single ounce of your attention if they are hurting you. Never put your education, job plans etc on hold for a boyfriend, girlfriend, especially while in college, especially when you're 19. Looking back so far, here's my list of gotta dos. 1. Get a skill. College, intern, trade school, self-taught, doesn't matter. Get a skill. 2. Minimize your debt. Do anything to stave off picking up loans, racking up credit cards. Even with a skill, if half your money goes to paying debt, you're gonna have a bad time. 3. Don't chase others, relationships. Be the best you possible. Read, work out, think, be happy by yourself. People like people who have a story to tell. Don't live through others. Be happy by yourself. This is huge. Way too many people are obsessed with being in a relationship. It's as if their happiness hinges on their relationship status. It's a precarious way to live. The value of responsibility. To me, it's an ethical thing. Doing the right thing eases your conscience so much more than just doing what you feel like doing. Sure, it can be stressful, but you sleep so much better and feel more at ease when you do what you know is right. Well, you have to be a person of strong character to base it on. It's okay and healthy to set boundaries. If people push them and disrespect them, get rid of the people, not the boundary. People will tell you a lot of things, but their actions are what is important. Someone will tell you that they will always be there for you, but that is not guaranteed. They will say they want you to be happy, but then do things that hurt you. Sometimes without knowing, sometimes on purpose, sometimes because they are a coward. I learned this at the late age of 47, unfortunately, and I learned it the hard way. No matter how old you are or how well you do in life, some parents will never praise, be proud or demonstrate any emotional positivity towards you. They really are the worst type of parent, but constantly chasing the praise of emotionally devoid people will not bring any sort of peace or happiness. Be proud of your own achievements. Praise yourself. You are worthy of so much more. That very few people actually care about your success. Plenty of friends will resent you doing well in life and even pull you back. Iron deficiency, with or without anemia, can cause depression and anxiety. Although I had MDD since puberty, turns out I've been iron deficient my whole adult life since I got my period. I fixed that with iron infusions and supplements and now I'm good. Women should be screened for iron deficiency anemia before being prescribed antidepressants. Also, you can be iron deficient without being anemic, which is technically low hemoglobin and red blood cells. A lot of doctors won't check your ferritin, a measure of your iron stores, so ask to have that checked out if you have anemia symptoms. That was my only abnormal lab, but I needed multiple rounds of IV iron, it was so low. Totally agree. Also vitamin D and hypothyroidism. They prescribe antidepressants too easily. I'm so pissed off at them. Never allow someone to treat you as their therapist. If they tell you all their problems but get defensive about your simple requests, they are not worth your time. Unless of course you're being paid. 1. You are not obliged to love your parents. This is a hard one, but some parental behaviors get toxic and you can't possibly keep them happy constantly. 2. You are not obliged to constantly help out, listen to people, especially when they take too much help, vent to you too much. Let people make mistakes. Let them learn. 3. Just because you did well in primary school doesn't mean everything will come to you automatically in life. Learn to put real effort into your work. 4. A lot of people you meet will be cold, cruel and selfish. You will get used. Life is a constant struggle to avoid being one of those people. You have to actively take care of your body. Health is not a passive measure of avoiding things that are bad for you. It takes time and effort to keep your body working in all the right ways. This doesn't mean just exercising to a point of exhaustion every day. It includes stretching and breathing exercises to make sure you're not staying tense after the workout, and to make sure you're effectively exercising when you do. You have to constantly question proper form and change your ways when you've been doing something improperly. It takes dedication and intelligence. It's not easy, and you'll keep telling yourself you live a healthy lifestyle until it's too late. Sounds exhausting. I'll just go die. That everyone only has his own perspective of life. Just because someone lived through half their life doesn't mean they know how someone else lives their life best. People are different. Times are different. Circumstances are different. You shouldn't care what your high school experience was, good or bad, or what your classmates think of you, because who cares about high school after 18? If high school was your peak, you have a crappy life ahead. No one who's successful will ever say that high school was the highlight of their life. Take that to heart and look forward in life. Listen to your gut instinct. If something feels off about a person or situation, there's a reason. Believe it the first time and walk away. Always heard my mum saying that she won't live forever, so I should learn to do some basic things in life. Right around I turned 19, it actually happened. I had to actually teach my father some things, like some basic recipes, because otherwise we would be eating the same bland food every day. Cancer can go FCK right off. Your boss is not looking out for your best interests. He is looking out for his best interests. Corporate has no loyalty to you. You are just a replaceable cog. Nice guys rarely get promoted. They just get more responsibility. Semi-aggressive advancement planning and prioritizing the advancement tasks over items specified in job description is about the only way to advance salary faster than what is paid to new hires. Even then, jumping ship is usually the best way to advance salary and get more responsibility. I've started to notice that putting in the extra mile quickly becomes the standard and not the exception. Which kind of sucks, because sometimes you need to do the overtime, which I'm okay with. But when weeks span into months, it's pretty clear upper management is just seeing work get done. I know this sounds wrong, but hear me out. Don't do what you love for a living, unless it pays well. Research your career path before choosing one and prioritize potential earnings and time off. Do what gets you the most money and benefits with the least amount of time invested. Do what you love in your free time. Making it your career can ultimately make you resent it and lose your enthusiasm for the hobby you love most. Almost every job becomes a mundane chore if you do it every day, no matter how much you enjoy it now. I know it's anecdotal, but I always loved wrenching on cars. I started tinkering long before I could drive. I'm dang good at it and made a career out of it. The problem is, doing it every day has made me lose interest in doing it for fun. I don't have cool projects anymore. I see cars as basic transportation now and have no interest in modifying anything. The pay isn't terrible, but it isn't great either. If I could do it again, I'd have kept it as a hobby and gone into a field that is boring but pays for real life outside of work. Ultimately, work is a means to an end for most people, and all of the high-minded ideals of do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life stuff is bulls. Get that money, retire as soon as you can, and live life to the fullest while you can. The only one who really has your back is you, so frick what everyone else thinks or expects of you. You'll probably only have 3-5 good friends who'll stick around through the dark times, and who they are might surprise you. I know this is serious and good advice, but, and who they are might surprise you, had me ready to click to read the rest of the article, lol. I am responsible for my health. It isn't unfair that I got fat. It isn't unfair that I had to learn better eating habits and lose weight. It does suck and it has been hard at times, but it was never unfair. That if I am uncomfortable with SMTH, I can just say no, and don't have to worry about the feelings of others. BC, my feelings are valid as well. Everyone has to put themselves first in order to be healthy and happy. Don't base your self-worth on having good grades and a prestigious career path. You can define success for yourself, and it may involve neither. I'm constantly afraid of not being good enough, and this relieves me so much. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Yoda had it right. I got angry once and fricked up a good career. 1. Soulmates aren't a thing. 2. Learn to fight in a relationship without raising your voice and keep a check on your emotions. It's you and you're so against the problem, not you against them. I believe soulmates exist, but they're made rather than found. It's not about finding someone who you already have 100% perfect chemistry with. It's finding someone you can grow together with so that you build an amazing life together. Becoming soulmates together takes a lot of hard work, but the payoff is immensely worth it. Confidence is one of the most valuable skills you can acquire in your lifetime. And yes, it is a skill that you can practice until it becomes natural. It's one of the few fake it till you make it scenarios because you eventually believe your false confidence after enough times. Some people are born with more confidence, but it's a mindset and you can gain it and strengthen it over time. When your heart is screaming things aren't alright, but your brain keeps justifying things, trust me, your heart is right. Appreciating the moments. Should have chosen my friends over lovers. Should have left those lovers sooner. Should have went to college instead of working full-time and studying part-time. Should never have taken out so much debt. My life is full of should-haves, but I've learned, and that's more valuable than not having done those things. Not too late, but late enough that it has profoundly affected my life in hindsight. I'm 28 years old and was told I was academically gifted from a very early age. I then went through the entire UK school system and university undergrad with minimal effort. I generally achieved above average grades, but I should have been achieving much more. It wasn't until I entered the working world that I realized coasting and doing just enough to get by wouldn't make me rich or happy. I'm 28 and I've had to recently teach myself how to learn, how to study, and the benefits of reading. I wish I had realized sooner. It's better to say what you're thinking, especially if you're uncomfortable doing so, than saying nothing. Still working on this one. You are responsible for your own happiness. No one else in the world is. Being in a relationship is not going to magically make your loneliness and sadness go away if you don't work on your mental health. It's only going to hurt others too in the long run. No matter how much patience or how committed the other person is, too much emotional labor will eventually make them resent you. Don't change yourself for your partner. You'll be miserable and it probably won't save the relationship anyway. And you shouldn't be with someone who needs you to be someone different than who you are. Obviously, we want to be the best versions of ourselves, not fall to addictions, treat our MH, etc. But that's not what we're talking about here. You can't see the red flags if you're wearing rose-tinted glasses. Also, some bullies never grow out of that mindset, and being bullied as an adult is very much a thing. A college education can give you more opportunities, and isn't just a scam to get young people into debt. Never really believed it was a scam, but definitely convinced myself I didn't need it. I'd probably have more disposable income now if I'd gotten a degree in my current field. My advice to young people is to take time to grow up and find what you want to do before going to college. My hang up on college is that it can definitely be beneficial or even essential for your career, but don't go just to go. You stand to waste a lot of time and money. That closure is one of the most valuable things in maintaining a happy, healthy life. Not too late, but I wish I'd known it sooner. I think closure can also be found within yourself, if you can't find it somewhere else. For example, after a bad breakup, don't go chasing for reasons why it didn't work out. Meditate on the things you want to improve on, what you want from a future partner relationship, and find closure in that your last relationship just wasn't meant to be at that point in time. Not every friend is meant to stay in your life forever. It's okay to outgrow friends and move on. You don't need to force a relationship if it's just not right for you. You'll have a ton of friends in grade schools, but when you're in the real world, a few solid close friends is more common and all that's needed. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.